He's on a trip with his AP and I just found out. I found proof yesterday that my husband is cheating on me with a coworker. They're currently on a business trip together. He doesn't know that I know. I'm not sure how to handle this and was hoping someone who has been through this could guide me so I don't make any mistakes. Redditors' reactions update after this section. Redditor 1. Up. Before you do anything, contact a lawyer. You have power here, you know, and he doesn't know you know. Get with the lawyer and figure out what you can and cannot do. Have divorce papers drawn up. You don't have to go through with it, but having the papers is a powerful tool. If you can, wait for him to get back from his trip before you confront him. This gives you time to process what has happened and make decisions about your future, and make these decisions in a more objective manner. If the AP is married, contact her and let him know what is up. Provide the evidence you have to him. Redditor follow-up. I would also add to this to contact a therapist. No matter what, this is so damaging and they'll need to take care of themselves. Redditor 2. Blow up the affair. Notify HR, and if she is married, notify her husband too. Affairs only live in secrecy, so you need to expose it for the world to see in order to KLL it. Redditor follow-up. If she wants a divorce, he will be more agreeable and get a better settlement if she doesn't blow up his life until after the divorce is complete. Update. What is it like sharing kids with a WS? I have a very big dilemma, and I know abortion is a sensitive topic, but I'm very seriously considering getting one. I recently found out about my husband's betrayal. We've only been married for 2 years, so I think it's better to quit before our lives become more entwined. The only thing making me hesitate is that I'm currently pregnant 12 weeks. I don't think bringing a baby into this situation is a good idea. I was wondering if someone who shares kids with their WS can tell me what it's like. Update. How do they pretend to be so in love with you whilst actively betraying you? The last few days have been extremely rough. D-Day was only 6 days ago, and from my post history, you can probably tell I was really worried about having a child with my WS. I know this is controversial, but I ended up going through with the abortion. I told my WS I miscarried yesterday, and that was why I was avoiding speaking to him. He was devastated and insisted on cutting the trip short so he should be home tomorrow. I'm not looking forward to it, but he wouldn't take no for an answer. I can't really talk to anyone in real life about the affair yet because everyone I know loves my WS, and I don't really trust anyone anymore. I was going to start journaling to get it all out, but I'm scared my WS will read it. After I told him the news, he was being so nice to me. He kept apologizing for not being home and making big promises about how we'd have a family one day and listing all of the things he was going to do for me when he gets home. He kept telling me how much he loved me and how I didn't deserve this and how he felt desperate to do something to fix it. And then, this morning he had a gift basket delivered to me and I lost control. I haven't cried that hard since my grandfather died. I thought I could do this and be emotionless, but God, does it hurt. I can't believe he did this to me. I'm just sitting here wondering, how do they pretend to be so in love with you whilst actively betraying you? What kind of person does that? Update. They broke up. I couldn't sleep last night, so I checked the iPad again. They broke up. His AP has been sending him message after message asking him to reconsider and telling him she loved him, how her husband never made her feel the way he makes her feel. I'm not sure what to do with this information, but in a twisted way I'm happy I'm not the only one who's miserable now. Update. The confrontation didn't go as planned. I feel like a fool right now. I was hoping to come back and ask for some more advice before I confronted my WS, but he barely let me out of his sight. I messed it up. I wish I could go back and have a do-over. The worst part is I had everything ready to go ahead with the divorce for a while. I just couldn't find it in me to pull the trigger. I've spent a lot of time crying since my last post. It's weird mourning a marriage when one person is constantly making promises and plans that you know will never happen. We got into an argument on Christmas Day after he told me our families were coming over to spend the day with us. despite the fact that I told him I didn't want to see anyone and that we're still in lockdown. I wanted him to cancel and he wouldn't. He said I had to stop isolating myself from everyone after what happened. I had an abortion whilst he was away with his AP and told him I miscarried. I've never understood the phrase I saw read until that moment. I was so angry I told him I was glad I wouldn't have to spend another Christmas with him because I wanted a divorce. He still thought it was about the miscarriage and kept trying to reassure me that things would get better and that this was just a rough patch. So, I told him I knew everything. He didn't really acknowledge the affair. He started repeatedly asking me, "What did you do?" I refused to answer, and he got cold and angry and outright asked me if I had killed his baby. I started crying at this point and wouldn't say anything else. He ended up going outside to clear his head. His parents showed up an hour after and mine showed up 30 minutes after them. It was a train wreck. I knew everyone would take his side, but it still hurt. My parents were so angry that I had had an abortion that anything he did seemed justified at that point. My mill was the only person who seemed to be understanding on why I did it and genuinely tried to mediate the situation. Everyone else was minimizing what he did and making me seem like this awful murdering witch. The worst part is that our parents have come over every single day since. Being at home is hell, but anytime I try to leave, someone always attempts to tag along. My WS moved into the guest room of his own free will. He hasn't really spoken to me, except to apologize to me once the day after. I've been using the iPad to see if he was contacting the AP. He hasn't, but she continues to send him messages daily. I'm tempted to message her, but I don't want to give her the satisfaction. Although, part of me wonders what my WS will say if I do. God, that sounds so pathetic, right? Why do I still want this man to talk to me? Why does his silence hurt? Redditor's reactions. Redditor 1, he will try to change the focus from his infidelity to your abortion. I wouldn't bother talking right now. Just go ahead and see a lawyer. If people still insist on coming with you, hire an Uber and go to a lawyer's office. Probably can't go until Monday, I'm sure. You're a grown woman and don't need an e-court. As for his AP, I would just find out if she's in a relationship with someone else. They deserve to know. Redditor 2, if you want this stranger's opinion, I think you did the right thing regarding the abortion. I think leaving him is also the right thing. I'm so sorry you have to go through this. I'm so sorry he's a scumbag and he is daring to try to make this your fault. It is not your fault. You deserve so much better. Redditor follow-up, I can completely understand not wanting a baby with a cheater if you have the option. It would tie you to him forever. It would have been okay if you did, and it will be okay now that you are not. Take it one day at a time and tell others to keep their opinions to themselves if you don't want to hear their biased POV. Keep moving forward. Redditor 3, it is called cause and effect. They are looking at the effect without properly acknowledging the cause is infidelity. Much the same way a blind person cannot understand color, a person who hasn't been betrayed by their most trusted person will never understand the turmoil called by infidelity. It may even be pointless to try to explain the pounding heart, unfocused mind, the emotional trauma, and burning pain. You don't need to explain your actions until he can explain his. He won't be able to explain his horrific betrayal. Once they get a taste of his selfishness, betrayal, and total disregard for you, then perhaps your actions will be self-explanatory. Start any explanation from the beginning: his months of infidelity, lying, gaslighting, mental abuse, rug sweeping, and so on before turning to the next chapter. Redditor 4, are you kidding me? He's been away decking his AP without a care in the world. ABT his damn wife, but has the nerve to be upset you had an abortion. FFS, I'd burn him to the ground if I was in your shoes. Get into IC for yourself and get a shark of a lawyer. How dare he cheated, he lied, he spent valuable time with his AP instead of you. Why oh why would you want to start a family with him, after only 2 years marriage? Think that's what I read? Pack your bags and stay with a friend. Also, I'm super sorry your family weren't more supportive. They should be ashamed of themselves. Sorry, I'm mad as hell on your behalf. You deserve so much more than this cockwomble.